Hello indie game fans, more fantastic titles released out of early access which I missed giving a mention to, so here they are, along with some updates and new titles of interest. Let's begin with Vanaris Tactics Prologue, the free demo of a fantastic looking pixel art tactics title that I've had my eye on, where you get to play the first 3 battles and get a glimpse into the story of the game. From the look and action, of course this is inspired by Final Fantasy Tactics and looks awesome in my opinion, so if you love tactics games, do check out the demo and wishlist the main game if interested. I'll admit, I did come across RATUZ when looking at games for indie gaming this week, but decided not to cover it since it looks kind of ugly, but people do seem to like it, so I thought I'll give it a mention. It takes place at a prison where prisoners are being experimented upon, which of course goes horribly wrong when a rat monster is created and you play as a regular prisoner trying to escape. It's a cinematic platformer like the original Prince of Persia or Another World, where it's not so much about combat but more of timing, platforming and solving puzzles, looking pretty gory and brutal as well to escape. It's a cinematic platformer like the original Prince of Persia or Another World, where it's not so much about combat but more of timing, platforming and solving puzzles, looking pretty gory and brutal as well. This video is brought to you by TrinityS, a 3-player co-op boss rush title that has MMO style combat. It allows up to 3 players to play as the so-called Holy Trinity of MMOs in Knight, Wizard and Priest, corresponding to Tank, DPS and Healer, where everyone has to play their role in order to defeat the boss. Even if you're not familiar with MMOs, I'm sure that you'll be able to pick up the basics as you go along, where it is about working together with your teammates, timing your attacks, buffs and heals all at the correct time while avoiding damage. Because this game streamlines the MMO experience and goes straight into the action, you do save quite a bit of time by bypassing the whole MMO experience but still retaining the intensity and fun of such a boss fight, making it of interest. Do also note that there is AI support for single player, but of course will be best with friends. The continuing story of No Man's Sky has another chapter with the release of the Outlaws free update, which is quite significant, so listen up. This focuses on the underworld of No Man's Sky, so think of smugglers and pirates and you get the idea, where it added quite a bit to the space combat systems as well. This randomly scatters the world with outlaw stations, which are hives of scum and villainy filled with pirate missions, illegal goods and black market technology, which will come in handy when you yourself take on smuggling missions. I'm constantly amazed at how far this game has come, from a very rough launch to the awesome title it is today, possibly being the open world title in the space, which is pretty much unrivaled. I'm amazed at the constant updates of Barotrauma, so enjoy this trailer for Urban Expanses.
Don't you just love to crack a cold one with the boys after a long day of whatever you do in there? Maybe a small brawl to stretch that aching neck. No? Euphoria, a nation on a station, a boxed-in beauty, an oasis of lust and luggage at your feet, if you have the coin for it. We offer you luxury in lengths. Rest your weary back at our calm and composed sleeping quarters. Fill your belly with satisfaction. Wash your dirty laundry. Test your hand-eye coordination, acquire ancient knowledge, loosen up a bit, go crazy, release the tension. But watch your step. It's a big place after all. And in case you are lost in the dark, we offer services to find your way back. Now, you have heard of it, wondered of it. Only thing left for you is to involve yourself in it. The city in the deep, the hub of dances, the urban Expanses.
I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, but Winkeltje, The Little Shop is an awesome management title that has you running your own store in a fantasy world, being able to buy and sell everything from apples to swords, clothes to potions and so on, releasing out of early access after quite a while, and what a journey this has been. I still remember playing the early access version of this game, and it looked nothing like what you see in this trailer now, with game mechanics and features being gradually fleshed out over time as well. There are of course bits of Moonlighter in this, but you're able to hire employees, expand your shop, and even start a little garden in the backyard, being a fantastic management title not to be missed. Another 1.0 release of interest is Ragnorium, a sci-fi colony sim that has a very unique look, where you're trying to establish a self-sustaining colony on an alien planet. The main threat is the holy crusade of a sentient machine, where, of course, dangerous robots are coming to get you. I still remember the secret early access launch of this game, which at the time was very early even for an early access title, and despite it being version 1.0, does still have some rough edges and quality of life issues, but is quite an interesting entry in the space. A social deduction game that digitized Werewolf and Mafia was Town of Salem in 2014, assigning roles to players where everyone had their own objectives, predating and perhaps laying the foundation for something like Among Us, where the developers are back with Traitors in Salem. Like most sequels, this looks to be a bigger and better version of the first, while retaining much of what made the original great. Visually, the graphics have seen a significant upgrade, where there are over 31 different roles to play as, which means plenty of variety. However, the biggest change is that it now has Among Us-like exploration in between rounds of debating who to send to the gallows, adding more complexity and strategic depth.
That was good chicken, huh?
That was good chicken. Actually, isn't that a turkey?
It's good turkey, huh?
As such, I do think that there's something here, with a market perhaps more primed for something like this, making it one to watch in early access. We don't get many 3D third-person action roguelites, but are seeing an increasing number of them, where one of interest is Hollow Mental, a title that I think looks fantastic even though it might be using some pre-made assets, but everything is put together very nicely so it works in this particular case. It has you cleansing and rebuilding the land of Eventide Hollow, destroying monsters and helping to rebuild the world, which is one of the aspects of permanent progression. It does also integrate the roguelite permadeath mechanic into its story, where the souls of travelers go into the Hollow Mental and await the arrival of the next traveler, which is an aspect that I love when roguelite developers do this. There are a variety of character classes and weapons as well, making this one to watch in early access. It might seem like a strange pick that War Pips comes in at number 1, since this is a tug-of-war strategy game that was quite common in the flash game era, but do stay a while and listen and hear me out. It uses a modern military theme where the opposing sides are spawning troops, vehicles and defenses in order to overwhelm your opponent, having a clever, complex rock-paper-scissors-like system of units and counter strategies. I do think that it looks great, having pixel art soldiers with lo-fi units and 3D environments, making this stand out visually. It has been quite a while since I last played one of these and the change was refreshing, so with it being out of early access, there's no reason not to get this, taking the number 1 spot. For more of the best indie games, watch these videos and I will see you after the jump.